Hi everybody! In the spur of the moment, I decided to start a series on the many things that I've been enjoying to do in my spare time, what I've been learning in my walk with God, and to share the many lives that have affected me on my life journey. This channel was initially started by my boyfriend, now husband, and I 4 years ago as a couples activity. As you can see, we've never touched this account since, but now I'd like to repurpose this channel. With that being said, I'd like to share with you a promise of hope. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Blessings. Hi guys, I just wanted to show you some of my current plants. This one here is an air plant that I purchased about a few months ago. And this is how I water it once a week on Mondays. I keep it soaked in water for an hour, and then I reuse the water for my other plants. And I'll show you here how I dry this plant as well. So just to show you here, this is the planter that I used. It was a gift from my friend Ellen. It's a little miniature corgi, my favorite type of dog. And to be specific, this is the type of air plant that I have, T. funkiana. I purchased this at Botanical, not a sponsor. So what I do is I take this out of the water and I lay it to dry in the planter until all the water is evaporated, and then I can flip it back over. So just to show you here, normally this is how the plant looks and sits in the planter. So I wanted to also show you some other plants that I had purchased at Botanical. And initially I was only getting the air plant, but then I also heard from a friend that they also give out clippings of their vines as well. So I purchased these, and initially the staff had given me this one here. The stem was pretty much this length here that's in the water, but she wasn't too confident that it was going to grow, so she also clipped this one for me. And so it has a nice heathered, spotted white and green to it. And this one is definitely thriving a lot more. I've just had it perched on the side of the door so that it can continue to grow upwards. Still debating whether or not to plant it in soil, because I kind of like it just in the water. So yeah, here's the other one, and it's actually grown quite a bit. I wasn't too sure either if it was going to grow, but looks to be thriving as well. I wanted to show you guys the orchids that I have. This one here is actually one that has not flowered yet. It was actually a plant that I've taken in from work. In the office it was dying and it was about to be thrown away, so I thought I'd try and nurse it back to health, and it was able to grow some new roots and also some new leaves as well. I believe basically these two up here are new, and I've had it for about, I want to say, a year and a half. So we'll see if it's going to flower anytime soon. This here, I like to tell the story I got from my husband during our dating years, our 2nd year anniversary. And at first I thought that it was just a one-time plant, but doing a bit more research, I realized I can replant it or repot it, and it did continue to grow So initially it was quite small, looked more like this one here, but with the flowers, and now it's huge. As you can see, there's one branch here where it had flowered, I think about 2 to 3 times. And there was another branch that came out before, but then it dried up and browned, so I cut it off. But this one here somehow is still green, and I'm not quite sure why. So I didn't cut it off because maybe it's gonna reflower, I'm not too sure. This stem here is new. It just started appearing this spring, so we'll see how many buds come out of that one. I can see about 3 so far. This one here is actually a baby that was sprouted from the plant I just showed you, and it looks like, yeah, it's already, you can already see the hue of the purple flowers. I'm not sure specifically what species of orchid this is, but it does have small purple flowers. So just to show you, this is the orchid potting soil that I use. It's not really soil, it's more like wood chips blended in with a bit of dirt, I guess. It says you can feed up to 6 months. I'm quite the lazy planter, so I only changed the soil I think twice since I've had it, so in the last 5 years, I want to say. Or 4 to 5 years. I've only changed the soil twice, so don't take my advice for planting, but this is the soil that I've just added to it, so hopefully it can help these flowers grow well. Now, if anyone can comment, I'm not quite sure, but it looks like there's a little pimple or white mark that's like a little bump that showed up on one of the orchid leaves. So if you can comment below on what that means, I'll also put in a picture of it. So I was also quite adventurous this last week. I thought, since I'm spending so much time indoors, I might as well make use of the time and spend it doing something I enjoy doing. So here I have some old onion chives that I've had for some time. It used to be a lot more, but now I've only got 2 sprigs of it. But I've also added this rosemary, and I know it's late to be planting this. Normally it takes about 7 to 28 days to sprout, so watching some videos, we'll see if anything happens, but so far this is what it looks like. I just reused some old soil that I've had used to plant and regrow some spring onions, and hopefully there's enough nutrients in there for it. I also have here some cilantro that I thought I might make good use of because I like cooking some stews or meat stews with that. And here, as you can see, it says it sprouts in about 7 to 14 days, which exactly today is 1 week. And surprisingly, you can see that there is some sprouting happening. I don't know if you can see just right here and here, but nothing here yet, but that's how I had planted it. I just reused some soil that I had used for the orchids and also some other random soil that I had in the living room. And here I have some lavender that I'm trying to plant. Apparently it's you're not always successful with it, so we'll see how it goes. Takes about 21 to 35 days for it to sprout, so we'll see how that turns out. But currently that's how it looks. So my friend Ellen also dropped us off these little care packages. We're excited to see what's in them. It's great that she put them in some recyclable packaging. So let's take a look at what's inside. So I just opened up the packages and I found these lovely cookies and also some handicrafts that she made. I know that she's very into making earrings and also some DIY stuff, so it looks like she made these circular clay earrings. They're great. And here we have some, clay masks that she had made. So oatmeal green tea and fresh green clay mask. Awesome. And also she made some rose and lavender milk bath powder. I love lavender. And I think this is a pre-made bath bomb. So let me just have a smell of these cookies here. Smell great. Thank you, Ellen, for all these wonderful gifts and for caring for us. A big thanks for watching my video, and I hope to continue to share more content with you all in the near future. I've added links in the description box for the information to Botaniful Plant Shop, 2 YouTube channels I've been enjoying, and a song that I have really been feeling. Take care and stay wholesome.